traders, FX Pip Collector here. Today is Saturday, August 17th, and this is my Saturday video I like to do once a week, where I go through the full list of pairs on our roadmap time frame, which the roadmap time frame for me is always the higher time frames, usually someplace between the 12-hour and maybe the 1 to 2 day time frame is usually what I use for my roadmap time frames to help me trade all these shorter time frames. Just like the saying goes, without your roadmap, you're going to be lost. If you have a roadmap, you're definitely going to know which direction to go, and the same thing applies with trading. If you follow your roadmap, then you should know what direction to be trading on the shorter time frames. Now, every single thing on this list right here, these are the pairs that I do follow on a daily basis, and these are the pairs that I do analyze for myself and my premium members, where I look for entries on all of these pairs. I think there's a total of 34 pairs that I follow and look for entries on. And every single time I do find myself a swing trade, I do sell it with the group at the time of entry. So I do have a membership. If you would like to join, it's at my website, fxpipcollector.com. The membership comes with a trading course, which is 35 videos long. It also comes with daily Zoom meetings every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for the New York trading session, where this is live analysis and live trading. Now, just keep in mind, I am not a short time frame trader. I am a swing trader, so just keep that in mind. But we do these daily Zoom meetings every single day where we look for entries together and we analyze the charts together. And if you participate in my trading course and you attend my Zoom meetings, hopefully you'll be learning to trade while you're earning to trade. So what I mean by that is you can follow along with all my swing trade setups as I take them. So these are the actual trades that I provided to my group this last week. If you'd like to, you could go through and pause the video and check them out. You can kind of check them out on the charts. A lot of these trades I'm still holding on to because I am a swing trader. It's not uncommon for me to hold on to trades for a week or more, sometimes a few weeks. But definitely some very profitable trades in there. Definitely check that out if you'd like to. So I do every single trade that I enter, I do provide to my members at the time of entry with stop loss and a take profit plan. So that's why I like to call it learn and earn at the same time, because hopefully while you're learning to trade, you can also be earning by following along with some of my trade setups. So anyways, let's get to the charts. So we're going to start at the bottom on the indices. So we're going to work our way all the way up to the more popular dollar pairs, and we're going to look at everything on the daily time frame. I'm going to let you know what direction I am trading in going into the week to come. So on the US 30 indice, this definitely looks like an ABC correction to me. Now I have my Fibonacci retracement out here because these fib levels are often areas of resistance on sort of time frames. You know, often it will be like a nice little pullback at these fib levels, but I do think there's a very good chance that this will go up and it will break the previous highs. So I definitely am looking for pullback entries to go long on sort of time frames. Pretty much all three of the indices I follow are the same thing. Nasdaq, same thing. I think it ended in A, B, C correction. It hasn't taken out the high of wave B to really 100% confirm that analysis yet, but I definitely, looking at the higher time frames, think that this is correct. Once it does take out the high of wave B, probably a pullback will be likely, but for me, pullbacks are awesome news because those give us opportunities to go long again for the continuation of the uptrend. So on the Nasdaq, I will also be looking for longs on pullbacks going into the week coming, probably someplace around, I don't know, maybe the 90-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour time frame is where I will be looking for longs on those sort of time frames. Moving on to the S&P 500. The S&P 500, same thing. I think it has an ABC correction. My target for the S&P 500 is actually right at this 161.8 because I think this is a wave 3 on the weekly time frame. So I think we're eventually going to make our way up to the $5,900 area, which is still quite a ways up there. So definitely going to be looking for longs going into next week on pullbacks. I definitely wouldn't go long unless I saw a decent pullback. Someplace around like the 1, 2, 3, 4 hour time frame is where I will be looking to go long for the continuation of this uptrend. Now, natural gas is another one that I do follow that I like really well. We had some pretty good trades on this over the last couple weeks, but now that we have a break of structure to the upside, I would definitely say that this is probably going to make a bigger move to the upside. So this is something I think is very close to a possible entry. Might even happen like Monday or Tuesday. So I'm definitely looking for a long on this. Probably going into maybe Monday, Tuesday. Definitely looking to get long on natural gas. Break of structure, pullback. That's what I always call the bread and butter trades when I'm talking to my premium members. So natural gas, oil actually, oil did break structure. It kind of rejected structure. Sometimes a rejection of structure can actually mean that it keeps on going down. So I would be a little bit on the cautious side about going long. But I have my Fibonacci retracement on this last move up right here because technically it did break structure. I think this is a big wave A. I think this is a big A, B, C, or B, and I think we're going up to about $100 a barrel for wave C. So I'm definitely watching these fib levels very closely for evidence of an end of a correction on sort of time frames set so I can go long. Probably likely a 1, a 2, and eventually likely go up for a big old wave 3. I don't know what Fibonacci level it'll stop at, but I do know that we can recognize the end of a correction when it happens and we'll enter and we'll hold on for the wave 3. Moving on to gold, man, I definitely have been hitting gold right on the head because you can watch my gold videos from weeks and even months ago. I've been talking about this 5540, 5550 area for a very long time now, and that is still my target. I still think this is a wave 3 on the weekly monthly time frame, and I still think we are in a wave 5 of wave 3. So I'm looking at the 61% Fibonacci extension of wave 3 projected out the bottom of wave 4 for my target for this wave 5. So I definitely will be looking for more long entries on shorter time frames on gold, definitely. So moving on to the CAD Swiss. All the Swiss pairs are actually moving very similar right now. A lot of them do look like they possibly could have ended away B on the weekly, and if that is true, then it probably will break structure and it probably will just keep on going up. I have my Fibonacci retracement out here because technically we still are in a downtrend on the daily, and if we do get like a good fib bounce, like a good engulfing move to the downside, I definitely would go short. Likely the next move down is going to be a correction to the move up, but sometimes what you think is a way B actually just keeps on trending down. So I'm definitely going to go short. And then while I'm short, I'm going to try to learn and hopefully earn at the same time whether this is a way B, which is a correction to the uptrend, or whether it's like a 1-2 correction to the uptrend, or whether it's actually just going to keep on going down. Some of the best trades is when you're learning and earning at the same time. Moving on to the Kiwi Swiss. The Kiwi Swiss did break structure to the upside, which means I am definitely looking for longs. I think this one is likely the end of a wave 5, which means eventually it probably will end up going up and taking out the high of wave 4. Not right away, probably over the course of a month or two, but definitely looking for logs on sort of time frames. Moving on to the Kiwi CAD. Kiwi CAD is definitely a little different, but I think this is the end of an ABC correction right here. I think this could even be like a running flat wave 2, like a 1 and then a running flat wave 2, and I think there's a pretty good chance that this is also going to continue to make higher highs, higher lows coming into the weeks ahead. So definitely looking for logs on pullbacks on that. The Aussie Kiwi, I do kind of think the Aussie Kiwi is going to try to go down at some point. Right now, I'm definitely looking for longs because the trend is up right now. But if it bounces from a Fibonacci level, makes it like a big engulfing move to the downside, especially if we can identify a break of structure on the sort of time frames to the downside, that definitely will turn me back into a seller for the continuation of the downtrend. I suspect that this could be a top right here, and this could be like a 1, a 2, and it goes down for wave 3. But like I said, I'm definitely looking for longs right now, and if it actually decides to just keep on going up, that's not going to be a problem for me because I will be looking for longs until the market proves to me that the wave 2 is complete. So going up to the Aussie Swiss. The Aussie Swiss technically has not broken structure yet either. The daily time frame trend is still down, which means you still primarily could be looking for shorts. If it does make a nice engulfing move to the downside, then it may actually just still continue the downtrend. But depending on what kind of trader you are, if you are trading like the 1 hour time frame, you probably should have been looking for longs for the last 2 weeks. But really, for me, unless it breaks this structure, I'm still looking at this as possibly making a lower high and possibly making a bigger move to the downside. But like I said on the CAD Swiss, this move down could end up being a wave 2 or a wave B. But I'm definitely going to go short if it gives me an opportunity, and then hopefully I can learn and earn at the same time whether this is a wave B or 2 or whether it just continues back down like that. It's the exact same story on all the Swiss pairs. Moving on to the Aussie CAD. The Aussie CAD book started this week to the upside. Definitely telling me that I need to be looking for logs. I think this is the end of a correction. I think that this will go up and break the previous highs over the course of the next couple weeks. So I'm definitely looking for longs on pullback entries. Definitely on that one. So the pound kiwi on the very high time frames, I do suspect that the pound kiwi could possibly keep going up, but I kind of feel like it might make another attempt down first, make a more proper looking ABC correction. So for now, I'm definitely still looking for shorts. I think it might go down to one of these lower fib levels before it potentially does make a bigger move to the upside. So for now, I'm definitely looking for shorts on this unless it proves otherwise with a breaker structure or something like that on the shorter time frames. So going to the pound Aussie. The pound Aussie, I'm definitely looking for shorts also. But on the pound Aussie, I got a structure level right here. So if it does decide to go up and break that structure, I will definitely stop looking for shorts, and I will definitely start looking for longs again. I'm just following along with the market right now. I'm definitely looking for shorts on sort of time phase, and if it keeps going down, then great. If it breaks structure to the upside, then fine. I'll stop looking for shorts, and I'll start looking for longs again. Moving on to the pound Swiss, like I said, it's pretty much the same story on all the Swiss pairs. A lot of these Swiss pairs do look like one, two, three waves down, which is why, I mean, it definitely might just go down, make like a wave 2 or a wave B, probably more likely a wave 2 if this really is true, and potentially just keep on going up. Because the daily time frame trend is definitely still down, I'm definitely going to go short on any Swiss pairs when I get an opportunity. But I do realize that the next move down very likely could be a correction to this last move up, and it might make a higher low and just keep on trending up. So I am looking for shorts, but I think that the move down could be a wave B or wave 2. Moving on to the pound CAD. Technically, the pound CAD is in a downtrend also because we have a breaker structure to the downside right here. But the same type of thing happened back here where we had a breaker structure to the downside, then it made a motive wave correction, and then it just continued the uptrend. So the same thing could be happening here. It could have just broke structure to the downside, made a motive wave correction, and now it could possibly be going up like that. So I am definitely looking for shorts on sort of time phase, but if it breaks to the upside, then I definitely will turn back into a buyer. Honestly, right now I'm just kind of observing it to see whether it makes like a big engulfing move down at a fib level, which will definitely keep me looking for sells, or if it breaks structure to the upside. So right now I'm just kind of observing to see what it does. We're kind of in no man's land right now. Moving on to the Yo Kiwi. The Yo Kiwi trend is definitely up for me. Unless it breaks structure to the downside, I am definitely looking for logs in an uptrend. This move up is very impulsive, so I would expect to see at least another push to the upside. Even if it does end up being a correction to this last move down, I would definitely expect it to push up at least one more time. Then if it does make three waves up and impulsive down, then maybe we do need to start looking for shorts. But for now, we are definitely looking for logs in an uptrend. Moving on to the pound Aussie. The Yo Aussie, that is, sorry. The Yo Aussie is almost the same story and a little bit different than the Yo Kiwi, but same type of story. I'm definitely looking for longs because it has not broken structure to the downside. I do suspect that this could be an ABC correction. I do suspect that maybe it could come down, retest structure, but I think there's a pretty good chance it's going to go up. Maybe it's not going to make a new high, but I do think that it's going to at least make another attempt to continue the uptrend. Moving on to the Euro Pound, I think I'm definitely looking for shorts on the Euro Pound, but I am very confident the Euro Pound is in a correction to this last move up. So I'm watching my Fibonacci levels very closely while I'm looking for shorts. The Euro Pound was actually one of the trades we took this week that was very profitable that I did provide to the group at the time of entry. So I'm definitely still looking for shorts on the Euro Pound, but I'm also at the same time looking for evidence that this is ending a correction, like this is an ABC. And if I do see that evidence, I definitely will stop looking for shorts and start looking for longs again. But for now, definitely still looking for shorts. The Euro Swiss, just like the other Swiss pairs, we technically are in a downtrend because we haven't broken structure to the upside yet. So I'm technically still looking for shorts, but I do realize that when it does go down, it might very likely will be like a wave 2 or possibly a wave B. So I will definitely look for shorts. Will definitely try to get short, but I will definitely be keeping a very close eye when it does start to move down, whether or not it's a correction to the move up. The problem is that sometimes what you think is a wave B just keeps on trending down and continuing the downtrend. So it's definitely sometimes worth getting in, especially on the daily time frame. getting short for a wave B or a wave 2, because sometimes it's not a wave B or wave 2. Sometimes it just keeps on going down. But once I get short, I'll be watching very closely to see if it does end the correction to continue the uptrend. So moving on to the EURUSD. The EURUSD is definitely still in an uptrend for me. It's definitely no breaker structure. Higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. Definitely an uptrend. Definitely looking for longs on shorter time frames. Now moving on to the yen pairs, I do kind of go through the yen pairs really fast because honestly the yen pairs are so correlated that they're all the exact same strategy. The trend is definitely still down on all the yen pairs in my opinion. We're definitely still in a wave A, I think. I personally think there's still going to be at least one more attempt down, probably a wave 3, a wave 4, and a wave 5 of wave A. So I personally am still looking for shorts on all the yen pairs. If you do trade the 1 hour time frame and below, then you probably could have been looking for longs for the past couple of weeks, but I don't trade the short time frame, so I am definitely waiting patiently for the end of a correction to go short again. So, like I said, I do kind of fly through the yen pairs because they're all exactly the same. I got my Fibonacci retracement on the last push down. I'm looking for Fibonacci bounces. I'm looking to go short. If you are a very short time frame trader, you definitely could be looking for long still, but I definitely am still expecting that we're going to have at least another attempt on the downtrend on all the yen pairs. So Kiwi yen, same story, Fibonacci level. Looking at my fib levels, looking for engulfing down, looking for a short entry for possibly another attempt on the downtrend. So moving on to the Aussie yen, same exact thing. Like I said, I do fly through the yen pairs, but there's a reason for that. It's because the yen pairs are so extremely correlated that we're doing the exact same thing on all of them, which is looking for shorts. Unless you're trading the 1 hour time frame and below, if you are, then you're probably looking for longs until we do get that Fibonacci bounce. I'm not. I am a swing trader, so I am looking for that short for the last attempt on the continuation of the downtrend. I think every single yen pair is in a wave A of wave 4 on the weekly, monthly time frames. If you've seen my full top down analysis on the pound yen and the euro yen, then that analysis applies to really all of the yen pairs. So the pound yen, same thing. You definitely could have been looking for longs on like the 1 hour time frame range and below, but I personally am still looking for a fib bounce. I'm still looking for another attempt on the downtrend. I still think we're in a wave A, and I still think this is going to go down at least one more time to complete that wave A. And the euro again, same exact thing. I got my Fibonacci level on the last little push down. I'm looking for a fib bounce. I'm looking for an entry to go short. If you're trading the 1 hour time frame and below, then you're probably actually looking for longs at the exact same time that I'm looking for shorts. But I am not a short time frame trader. I am a swing trader, so I definitely am probably doing something a little different than most traders. So moving on to the U.S. dollar yen. Boy, the dollar yen looks like it's already ending a correction. It looks like I personally think that all the yen pairs are making a wave 4 right now. One, two, three, four, and I think we're going to go down for wave 5, and this is all still a wave A. On the dollar yen, it possibly could be a wave 1, but either way, it's either a wave 1 or a wave A. And honestly, it's not important to know the difference between a wave 1 or a wave A because the trading strategy is exactly the same for a wave 1 and a wave A. So I'm personally still looking for shorts. I think we need to go down and make that wave 5 before we complete this wave A or possibly wave 1 pattern. Moving on to the dollar Swiss, I'm already short on the dollar Swiss also. The trend is definitely down on the dollar Swiss. We never broke structure to the upside. We got a nice 1, 2, 3 way pattern up to the fib level. You definitely could have been looking for longs on the 1 hour time frame range over the last couple of weeks, but for me, I'm definitely still looking for shorts, and I am looking for that last attempt on the downtrend. Just like all the other Swiss pairs, this possibly could actually make a higher low, and it could actually end up being a crutch into this last move up and continuing up like that. Definitely a possibility. But while I'm short, I will learn and earn at the same time whether this move down is a crutch into the move up or whether it just keeps on trending down, which is definitely possible, especially for me looking at all the dollar pairs. I still think the US dollar is in a wave 3, so the US dollar Swiss potentially might just keep on going down. I think it might be pretty likely it's going to. So before we move on to the more popular US dollar pairs, like I said, every single trade that I do take, I do provide with my members at the time of entry. Anytime you see a green flag means I'm long. Anytime you see a red flag, it means I'm short. So every single one of these flags right here are trades that I'm still holding over the weekend because I do have a tendency to hold trades sometimes for a week, sometimes more than a week. So I'm definitely holding trades, and every single trade that I did enter this week, I did provide to my members at the time of entry. These are all the trades that we took this week. It's a pretty decent amount of trades, especially for a swing trader. There's probably at least 15, 18 trades in here that I took this last previous week, and I provided them all to my group at the time of entry with stop loss, with a take profit plan, and you can even see my entry price. So, like I said, I don't really like to call it a signal service because I think everybody needs to learn to trade on their own. But hopefully, while you're learning to trade by taking my trading course on my website and attending my live Zoom meetings that I do every single weekday, hopefully, while you're learning to trade, you can earn by following along with my swing trades. That's why I like to call my membership Learn and Earn at the same time, and it's also only $30 a month, which is extremely, extremely cheap, especially compared to what most people that do what I do. Very, very, very cheap. I'm not looking to get rich from my memberships. I'm looking to get rich from my trading. So that's why, I figured that I wanted to keep my membership cheap because that way everybody can afford it and it's not like a burden. And, it might take potentially I personally think that it potentially takes people quite a while to actually learn to trade on their own, which is why I like to provide people with trade setups so that way they can learn and earn at the same time. So anyways, let's finish up looking at these last few pairs. Moving on to the US dollar CAD. Man, if you've seen my US dollar videos, even from like weeks ago, you can see that I've been calling this move out for a long time. I think this is a wave C right here, a wave, and I think that we are now going down for a big downtrend, which will take out this low, and I think it's going to eventually take out all these lows. I think we're in a downtrend that has a long ways to go. So I am definitely looking for shorts on pullback entries. I'm watching these Fibonacci levels for areas of resistance, but definitely looking for shorts. This is another trade that I provided to my group this week. They're long on the Kiwi dollar. We got long like literally right down here at the bottom. And yeah, I think this is the end of a correction. I think this is very likely over the next coming weeks to continue to make higher highs, higher lows, probably eventually take out the previous highs, and potentially, if we really are in a wave 3 like I believe we are, then this thing has a lot of upside potential to go. Moving on to the Aussie dollar, same thing. Really, like I said, you could be watching my videos from weeks ago, and I've been calling out these moves for weeks now. I think this is the end of a correction right here. I think this is an ABC correction on the weekly time frame. We had a break of structure to the upside last week, almost 2 weeks ago now, and ever since we had that break of structure, I've been looking for longs, and I think this thing is just gonna keep on trending, making those higher highs, higher lows. Moving on to the pound dollar. For me, you might as well zoom out a little bit because the pound dollar and all the dollar pairs is exactly the same story. I think we're in a wave 3 on the weekly monthly time frame. I think the pound dollar and the euro dollar are in a expanding flat wave C. So if that's the case, all you gotta do is go to the monthly. My target for this wave 3 is all the way up here, someplace around the 1.5 area on this wave 5. Now it potentially might take a year or so for it to get up there, but yeah, I think this is definitely the end of a big correction back here, and this right here is the end of a wave 2, and we are now in a wave 3. So I definitely think this thing is going to have pullbacks along the way, probably lots of pullbacks, but that's great news for us because at the end of these pullbacks is where I will be looking to go long again for the continuation of this uptrend. The trend is your friend, that's for sure. I'm definitely looking for longs on shorter time frames. And moving on to the Euro US dollar, same exact thing. I'm looking for longs on shorter time frames. No breaker structure to the downside. It looks like it's continuing up. I would definitely pay attention to these Fibonacci levels around the 1.1073 and 1.1059 area for possibly another pullback area. But like I said, I am not going short. I am not looking to go short on any of these pairs. I only trade in one direction. I only trade with the trend. So I'm only looking to go long, and I'm only looking to go long on pullback. So if it does make a pullback, that's great news for me because that should give me another opportunity to go long again for the continuation of this big, big wave 3. And just like the pound yen, or the pound dollar that is. My target for this euro dollar is way up here. I think this is an expanding flat wave C. 1, 2, 3 waves up A, 1, 2, 3 waves down B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up wave C. I think the euro dollar eventually is going to make its way all the way up, probably to someplace around the 1.3 to 1.32 area. Which is kind of unfortunate because I do live in Europe and I get paid in US dollars, so obviously my dollar is going to lose a lot of value over the next year if I'm correct about this. But That's definitely the analysis that I'm using. I think that we're in a wave 3 of that expanding flat wave C right now, and I'm definitely looking for longs in a uptrend. So, anyways, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of the weekend and gets some good rest and gets ready for the week to come. And as always, thank you and happy trading to everyone.